We need to change the demand for it. Coming up to Montana really changed my attitude on supply and demand. When I was a baby agent down in El Paso, I was sitting across from a cartel member, and I was saying, what's it, why send all this stuff? You know, why do y'all do this? And the comment back was, Stacy, mija, just if there was no demand for it, then, we wouldn't be sending it. I was insulted. But coming up here, I'm like, the man was straight up. If there wasn't a demand, they wouldn't be sending the product.
What was it like for you starting to first see hints that the cartel was involved in anything in Montana?
I started seeing whispers of the Sinaloa Cartel coming into the state of Wyoming, and what they would do, they'd transport, or they would send out a scout team, and then the drugs would be transported into Montana. And what they would do is that they would come in quickly, distribute the drugs, and they made like a loop. They'd go to one reservation and then come up like to Billings, and then they'd come out to Northern Cheyenne, dropping off, and then they reverse course, gather up the monies, and then go back to central Wyoming, and then fly out. And so it was hard for us to even get eyes on the boots on the ground, eyes on the situation when we heard of them coming through the area. And then each and every time they would change up transporters and stuff. So we weren't able to identify. We started seeing the influx of the Hispanic construction workers coming in. That's when the cartels really started being more overt. And that's when we started seeing what I believe was CJNG, the number 2 cartel in the world, start coming, setting up shop on these reservations.
Is this coming from the northern border down, or is it still from the southern border transporting up north?
It was still coming from the southwest border. And that was very interesting to me, because it was 2017 when I started snooping around on the northern border and realizing that we don't have a lot of assets up there. And that was, to me, was a huge problem. The last thing I wanted was a dirty bomb coming in, through the northern border on my watch. And so I coordinated with the Border Patrol. We started coordinating with the Canadians and trying to figure out, how do we fix this problem? Who's protecting our northern border? And it was kind of eye-opening when you ask the Canadians, like, what kind of assets? What are we doing here? And they would say, we're depending on you. Our back door was wide open. Meanwhile, Canada has some super fentanyl labs. That's when they had pretty much opened up the doors for the refugees. So I was also worried about the gang members and the cartels starting to form relationships and starting to see if we see that drug flow come southbound. But we're still not seeing the flow of drugs come southbound. We're still seeing the drugs come from the southwest border or up to the ports of entry into Washington or whatever and creep across that way. We have 7 reservations up here, and it is a problem to have the state DCI, Division of Criminal Investigators, and the local sheriff's department and the local PD could not go onto their land, because they're sovereign nation, without Title 21 protection or being task force officer also for FBI or HSI. But DEA, because of a lack of boots on the ground here in the state of Montana, there was a limited number of us. So for us to respond, that was also a problem. So that's why we're normally 2 steps behind the cartel.
What do you see Montana looking like in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's going to depend on its leadership. People are waking up to the fact that we need more boots on the ground, that actually people in Montana count. So we're seeing cartels. I mean, they're going to backfill the reservations. They're going, and our reservations, it's a circle. It's supply and demand. They did not learn their lesson with the cartel being right there on their land. They're not cleaning themselves up. They need to do that. People need to be proactive. We need to get back to educating the kids here in the state of Montana. If we don't start saying, yeah, we have a problem here, then we're gonna be so overwhelmed, because this is virgin territory. But if people don't wake up, put good leadership into office that's gonna say enough is enough and stay focused on the criminal element, then Montana's gonna end up falling like other rural areas.
How do we win? What does winning look like in trying to slow this down, stop the drugs, and kind of keep America safe from all those things that the cartel tends to make money off?
Well, I've never said this, on video before.